Well, hello there, Taurus. How are you? It is so good to see you again. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today we are doing your mid-August reading. So this is good from now until mid-September. We'll take a look at the overall energy with the oracle cards, and then we'll move to the tarot for more details about any obstacles on your path or areas of resistance, and of course, advice from Spirit about how to move closer to what your heart truly desires. Okay, so let's jump into it. Let's see what is on the horizon for you. Impasse, reflect and redirect your energy. And Hawk Spirit, let Spirit be your guide. Yeah. Okay, so this is the energy where you could have some, you see that stone wall, right? You kind of have the, let's see if it'll kind of focus a little bit better, but there's that stone wall and there's a path that's going up to the stone wall. And it's kind of like, this is a little bit of the energy of being kind of like a little stubborn, perhaps, thinking, I have to go through this wall, right? That's the only choice. I have to get that job, or I have to have this, relationship work, or something has to work out the way that you in particular think it should, or has to happen in a certain way, right? This is the energy of you're wasting your time and energy. You're trying to kind of like break through some type of a stone wall. You have to get your boss to recognize just how wonderful an employee you are, right? It's kind of like, okay, wait a minute. The way that you're going at it, okay, it's not necessarily that what you want isn't available to you. It's the way that you're going at it, okay? So it's kind of like the Hawk Spirit. Spirit is trying to help you, to guide you into a more productive way of getting what it is that you want. It's not that you can't have what it is that your heart truly desires. It's just that the way that you may be approaching the situation is really not the best way for you. Yeah, this is beautiful. You're manifesting exactly what it is that you want. You have the intuition and manifestation card and happy success. This is your outcome. You're going to have that. But there's a discovery. You have to decide, you have to understand that the way that you're approaching the situation needs to transform. You have transformation here, right? That means the approach, right, has to come to an end. And you have to find a different way to go. It's kind of like a detour, right? Yeah, I think, yeah. I do feel like for some of you, I did have that energy that it could be a relationship. I think you're wanting something to come into balance, perhaps with a relationship. Now, the relationship does not have to be romantic. It could be family. It could be friend. It could be between you and your boss. It could be, a situation with you and a client. Something like that. Yeah, see, okay, so you are, and you have the Tower. It's time to go in a different direction. You have the Two of Wands. It's an epiphany, understanding. The way that you have the Knight of Swords here, right? This is the energy of, I'm going to get what I want. It doesn't matter. At whatever cost, I'm going after this. This is exactly what I want, and I'm going after it. But the Knight of Swords is this energy. It doesn't have a lot of love. This is kind of like, it doesn't matter what happens, right? I don't care who's, back I step on as I get to the top. And I'm not saying that you have that energy, Taurus. You could even be working or have some type of a relationship with somebody like that, right? You have the Courage card. It's time to have the courage to reassess this situation, right? It says reflect and redirect your energy. The direction that you're going in, or the approach that you have to something, is you're repeating the same thing over and over again, but you're not getting a different result. This is part of your soul growth. This is part of your soul evolution, is to understand that the approach that you are using, either, it could be a pattern in relationships, so it doesn't have to be with the same person. But if you're seeing this pattern that plays out in relationships for you, okay, it's because of the approach that you are using. Okay, if it's a pattern in your career, it's the same thing. It's understanding there's a pattern here, and part of breaking this pattern is part of your soul evolution. It's understanding that the way that you are approaching the situation or thinking about the situation, right, it's time to redirect your energy. It's time to transform it. It's time to say, okay, that approach isn't working. That's fine. You still may want, right, a romantic partner, but it's time to try something different. It's time to try a different approach, right? All right, let's see what this is. Yeah, you just definitely, I mean, this is all, you have the Libra energy twice. I feel like this is, we have the Libra season coming up in about another month. This is the energy. I think this is coming to fruition. Whatever it is that you are really and truly trying to manifest here is going to happen within Libra season, or perhaps by Libra season. So in the next month or two. But it does mean that you have to, perhaps have a little bit more negotiations here. Okay, Two of Wands, trying to decide to go in a different way. Something that's a little bit more balanced, perhaps. Taking action on this. So let's see what we have here. Yeah, you have mending and then the King of Pentacles. This is what needs transformation. So the King of Pentacles can be boss energy. It can be a bank. It can even represent like a bank or an institution, something that you may be wanting money from, like you're trying to borrow money to start your own business or buy a new home or something like that. And you're having trouble, This is like going in, they're saying you attract more bees with honey. This is a little bit about understanding that the approach that you maybe are using is preventing you from having this connection that will be beneficial to you. Maybe part of it is like, I don't want to play that game, right? I totally understand that. It's kind of like, well, I don't want to play that game. But you see the mending, it's kind of like allowing yourself to say, if this person, this situation is that important to me, how am I willing to soften? This is just a little bit of softening your approach. Because with the Knight of Swords, this is an energy of just going, full force. This is the energy of, I can have more of what it is that I desire if I allow myself to go with a little bit more of a softer approach. And this is a little bit of the energy when I was a teacher and I taught at a very nice school. I had several jobs, but one of them, it was a very nice school, but the parents sometimes would send off these emails, right? That, it would be like, wow, like where did that come from, right? And I had a principal that said, we had to respond to every email, but would always say, oh, well, kill them with kindness. This is a little bit of that energy of understanding that you can diffuse a situation. You may have a difficult situation with your boss or with an institution like a bank or with a parent. Okay, this could be parent energy, or maybe you're the parent and you're dealing with a child, right? The child or somebody else, because we do have the Knight here, right? The child or you, somebody here is wanting their way, whether it's you or the institution or another person, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like understanding that a better approach to this is just to soften it, especially if you're in some type of negotiation. For some of you, it could be a legal situation because we do have a Libra energy here. You could be going through a divorce or some type of a settlement. And it's kind of like, if you go in with this type of approach, you're not going to get everything that you want. And so it's kind of like, even if the other person is coming in like this, right? Sometimes our reaction is like, well, then I'm going to go back just as hard, right? This is the energy of a little bit of taking the high road, being I don't want to say you don't want to be a pushover. It's not that you're being a pushover, but you're just coming from a more loving energy. And when you do that, you're going to shine. Okay, let's put it that way. You're going to shine. You know, have you ever been in a meeting, right? Once again, as a teacher, I've been in a lot of these meetings, you know, where, you know, maybe somebody in the meeting, you could have like 6, 7, 8 people at a table, and somebody comes in and they're really upset. They're the Knight of Swords. They're coming in, you know, blazing mad, you know, they're going to tell everybody, they, you know, whatever. And it's kind of like understanding that everybody immediately is just kind of like, yeah, well, yeah, right? It's kind of like, but if you come in and you go, hey, this is the situation. This is what I'm concerned about. You know, can we talk about some solutions to this where it's a win-win situation? That's what you're looking for here, is a win-win situation. Because when you look for a win-win situation, you're actually going to come out on top. And you know, the other person may think that it's just a win-win situation. Yeah, look at this. You have 6 of Wands on the bottom. May think that it's a win-win situation, but you're actually going to end up with more of what it is that you want, which is really kind of interesting, right? They're going to think that it was win-win, but you're actually getting a lot more out of the deal. Yeah, this is believing in yourself, right? It's kind of like allowing yourself to believe in yourself, to stand, to have healthy boundaries. Healthy boundaries means that you're not allowing somebody to talk to you in a disrespectful way, but you're also not falling into that trap of talking to them, raising your voice, using inappropriate language, you know, threatening, whatever it is, right? It's kind of like, okay, I'm just going to sit here. I have to say, I can kind of relate to this. Recently had a situation with my next door neighbor, right? And he, you know, he wanted me to do something. Let's put it this way. It has to do with the fence. Okay, so it's right. And he wanted me to do something about the fence that I put up legally, okay, and is on my property. But he didn't come over and come in with this very nice attitude. Came in kind of late at night, and it was just like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I have to admit, I kind of like fell into that too, because it was like, what? And so it is about understanding. I just said to him, I think we're going to have to talk about this at a different time, because he came at me a little bit out of the blue. And this, the reason I'm sharing this is because it could have happened to you. This could be a situation between you and your neighbor, right? I just said, I think we're going to have to just table this discussion for a minute. Let me go think about what options I can see for this situation, right? And then come back. And it's not about over-compromising, giving the person what it is that they want. You are standing up for yourself and what you know is to be true for you, right? And you're seeing clearly what it is that you want out of the situation. And that's exactly what I did, now that I'm thinking about it. I went away. I actually called my daughter. I talked to her about it. I called somebody else, talked to it. And I actually said, what is it that what will I feel is a very happy, successful situation out of this? And that's what I went back with, right? In a very loving, happy neighbor type of way. And I feel like that's a little bit of this. It's kind of like, stop maybe the talking that you're doing now, gather yourself, figure out what it is that you want, because you are going to get it. You are going to be successful, and you're going to get along with your neighbor or whoever this is that you're dealing with. All right, Taurus, this has a very happy ending. Yeah, just approaching it a little bit different. Okay, so let's take one last card for some final advice for you. And I do personal readings, so if you're interested, the link is in the description box below. I'd really be honored to do a reading for you. So let's see what we have here. Soften. Yeah. It says, keep softening, keep adjusting, change the plan daily if you need to. What next? Is everybody okay? I can love and understand my way through this. When you've been toughing it out, softening might be your breakthrough. Yeah, that is exactly, oh my gosh, that is exactly what this card is all about, right? Softening your approach. And all will work out for you. All right, I'm going to leave it there, Taurus. Thank you so much for being here. I really do appreciate you. And I love you so much. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.